What are your crazy ex-girlfriend/boyfriend stories?
Ex-girlfriend tried to hit me with her car, chased me down an alley in which a fence too high to jump was on one side and condos on the other, proceeded to call me the next day at work and tell me that I looked like a sexy cheetah running away from her car.
My girlfriend told me the week before I went to college that I got her pregnant, knowing that we were not going to date long distance. She sent me a picture of a stock photo pregnancy test she cropped that was positive. I literally just Google searched positive pregnancy test and it was one of the first ones. I made her come over and take another one. It was negative. She left.
My first boyfriend tried to convince me he had slashed his wrists because I wouldn't take him back. The blood was very obviously Catalina salad dressing.
My high school girlfriend told me she had cancer after our first date. She asked me not to tell anyone and that her parents got really upset if it was mentioned, so to not talk about it with anyone. I dated her for 6 months. She turned herself anorexic to appear sickly. Once I started making friends, no one understood why I was with her and I kept her secret. Well, I finally put two and two together after she told me she was going in for chemo on Monday. She said she wasn't going to be at school for at least a week. I caught her trying to hide from me before the first class and asked her how chemo went. She said it went so well that all of her hair fell out, but they sewed it all together and sewed the wig to her head. Yeah, she was a special one.
My ex broke my PS3 after I failed to tell her I was working late. She thought I was cheating. If we weren't together, we had to be texting. 10 minutes without a text and I'd receive an angry phone call. Everything I had got broken by her being mad at the silliest of things. I lost all my friends because she didn't approve of them and eventually cut me off from them. If she brought me lunch or food, she would make sure I paid her back in full even though I always bought her everything. Same with the gifts, except if she spent X amount of money on my present, I would have to spend equal or even more.
My ex thought that taking her to a fancy dinner meant that I was going to propose to her. When it didn't happen, it led to a downward spiral, and at one point attempting to jump out of my car as I was driving. She also once pretended to faint during an argument. It was super awkward.
My ex, I was 18, he was 23, figured out my password to my T-Mobile account online. He went through all my text and phone call logs. He texted everyone whose number he did not recognize and demanded everyone who wasn't family or a friend he knew stop talking to his girlfriend and leave us alone. I ended it because he kept leaving the toilet seat up.
Had an ex cut the brake lines on my truck. Was on my way home from school when all of a sudden the pedal sank to the floor.